Coming up in today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we focus on the government's efforts to improve agriculture and justice sectors through partnerships and discover somewhere cool you can visit to learn about our culture. I'm Theodore Henry. We'll have all that and so much more after the news of the day. Stay tuned.
Want to know the law pertaining to renting a house? What about the procedure if you're arrested? Or what is defined as corruption? Then click on the Ministry of Justice website. It has information on every law passed in Jamaica. The House of Parliament portal also has the more recent year's pieces of legislation. The sites are easy to search and the files are downloadable. Make access to justice your business. Know your rights.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, March 29. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is again calling on the House of Representatives to act quickly and pass the pension reform bill that's now before the House. Mr. Holness was contributing to a debate on the bill Tuesday. He argued that the current public sector pension system was fiscally unsustainable and an unfair burden to tax-paying Jamaicans. The Prime Minister shared that the increased longevity of the population and growth in the size of the public sector had pushed the cost of public pensions from 0.4% of GDP in 1994 to a projected 2% of GDP in fiscal year 2017-2018.
We are not doing this to please the IMF. We are doing this to secure Jamaica. We must mature to the point where we can recognize clear and present danger and act as an independent parliament in our own best interest. And so this is why we are acting, not because it is a structural benchmark or because it's a policy commitment. It is because we have made a commitment to the people of Jamaica that we will manage their affairs in the best possible way and for their best interest.
Debate on the bill continues next week to allow for more time to respond to questions raised by members of the House. 2 cell phone jammers at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center have been restored and optimized to block incoming and outgoing calls from the maximum security facility. It's in keeping with government's latest moves to strengthen security in the nation's correctional facilities. The cell phone jammers were restored by a special technology task force established by the Ministry of National Security. Minister of State Senator Pernell Charles Jr. says the task force is swiftly implementing a strategy that will identify more modern technology for phased rollout in all the correctional institutions. He says the technology task force will conduct audits in all institutions under Phase 2 of an electronic monitoring program. Additionally, providers have begun the process of assessing the CCTV surveillance systems in the correctional facilities. The Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, has embarked on a $262 million zinc fence removal program. It was launched in Barrett Town, St. James recently. JSIF's Managing Director, Omar Sweeney, says it's not just about beautifying the communities, but is also a means of increasing security for residents and law enforcement.
Many times we think that the zinc fence is protecting us from what is happening outside, but we're not really thinking about the fact that the zinc fence is also hiding what is happening to you on the inside from persons seen out. And that is an important crime fighting measure.
The zinc fence removal program is being implemented through JSIF's Integrated Community Development Project and will benefit 11 communities in 6 parishes. In Barrett Town, where it was launched, $18 million will be spent to replace 492 meters of zinc fencing in the districts of Bottom Vietnam Road, Top Vietnam Road, Walkway and Saigon, topside from Blunt Street and Vietnam. Other beneficiary communities are Hannahtown, Denhamtown, Rosetown, Greenwich Town and Maxfield Park in Kingston and St. Andrew. It will also target Canaan Heights and Yorktown in Clarendon, Steartown in St. Anne, Granville in St. James and Russia in Westmoreland. The National Youth Service, NYS, conducted a massive cleanup activity in the Kitson Town community on Saturday as part of an ongoing national initiative to end the spread of the Zika virus. Senior Director of Community Services for the NYS, Rayarna Wright, says the exercise was conducted in Kitson Town on the recommendation of the Ministry of Health and the Red Cross. She says communities with known mosquito breeding sites in 7 other parishes will also be targeted under the UNICEF-funded initiative.
These parishes are still considered to be high-risk parishes. So even when our 1-month program has ended, we will still be working with especially the Ministry of Health and the Red Cross. What we will be doing, we'll be providing young people to actually go in and continue the sensitization and the training of this initiative.
The NYS also provided the president of the Kitson Town Community Development Committee, Omar Green, with water drum covers for distribution among community members. These covers will help prevent the breeding of mosquitoes in drums used for water collection. The Zika virus is transmitted to people mainly through the bite of the Aedes aegypti mosquito. And finally, the Tourism Product Development Corporation, TPDCO, says its new quiz competition based in Falmouth is helping children become better tourism partners. The inaugural FIWI Falmouth Tourism Quiz Competition is part of a broader initiative to get more residents to see themselves as stakeholders in the town's thriving cruise tourism sector.
As a means of improving the visitor experience and destination assurance, without which this industry will not survive.
Mr. Bloomfield was speaking at the recent finals and awards ceremony where Spring Garden Primary and Infant School received the top trophy. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity, free a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security.
The European Union is working with the government to improve our justice system. Find out more in our next feature.
European Union is committed to promoting and protecting human rights of all people because we believe that respect for human rights is essential for stable democracies and sustainable development, including economic betterment. This commitment underpins all we do in Jamaica and countries where we work. This is why we continue to support justice sector in Jamaica.
Jamaica has enjoyed a strong and long-standing relationship with the European Union, the EU. It all began more than 40 years ago when diplomatic relations was established. Jamaica engages with the EU individually as well as through its status as a member of the African, Caribbean and Pacific ACP group. There have been many areas of support and partnership over the years, including in justice. Most recently, the EU gave government $3.3 billion to support its justice reform program.
It is also the single largest budgetary commitment to justice reform in Jamaica or anywhere else in the world where the EU provides support.
The money has been allocated under the justice component of the 11th European Development Fund, EDF. $3 billion of the grant is earmarked for budgetary support, while the EU will administer the remaining $275.4 million. Half of that amount will fund technical assistance interventions, and the remainder will allow civil society organizations to support access to justice with an emphasis on vulnerable groups.
I certainly want to thank Ambassador MW for the tremendous participation of the European Union and her grant this time. Let me tell you, Ambassador, we are going to give you value for your money.
This funding is more than half of government's budget requirement to advance the justice reform program up to the year 2020.
And certainly, Ambassador, over the next few months, you'll be very busy because we'll be inviting you around the different parishes to open justice centers. Every parish will have a justice center.
Jamaica now stands on the cusp of a watershed year in the justice system, with several projects set to be undertaken as a result of this allocation. These will include the rollout of audio, video, and transcription technologies in the courts island-wide, a Know Your Rights public awareness campaign, and expansion of the restorative justice program in 1,000 schools, with the assignment of at least 3 trained and certified restorative justice facilitators in each institution. A restorative justice office will also be established in each parish to coordinate school and community programs and provide support to local courts. Other targets include a recruitment drive for justices of the peace, strengthening of the Justice Training Institute's capacity to plan and execute training programs, and an intensive training program for 10 selected NGOs to improve their operational effectiveness and service delivery to target populations. The activities are expected to enhance the justice system's efficiency and facilitate greater access at the community level, streamline restorative justice interventions, treat with children in conflict with the law in accordance with international conventions, and reduce the backlog of court cases. This is an example of the EU's ongoing tangible and substantial support to Jamaica. The European Union's provision to the justice sector makes a substantial difference to the pace and success of the country's development.
So we're not here just to provide funding, but we're here to share experiences and to learn from you how we can better assist you, but how we can also be better at the work that we do inside our own countries.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits, and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces, and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled, or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced, and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
In order to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business, our people must be well fed. And the government is helping to ensure that more local food is available to consumers by collaborating with various organizations to assist farmers to increase their output.
Getting farmers to produce more, adopting best practice methods, and becoming more efficient and sustainable. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries has aligned itself with partners to grow the agriculture sector. One of those partners is the World University Service of Canada, WUSC Caribbean. They have been providing resources and technical support to small and medium-scale producers in order to boost agricultural outputs in 5 targeted crops. These are Irish and sweet potato, onion, ginger, and sweet yam. The work is being done through the promotion of regional opportunities for produce through Enterprises and Linkages Propel project. The 5-year project, which started in 2013, also provides assistance to establish market linkages.
We want holistic, integrated approaches between all the different actors in the marketplace. Propel as a support entity, helping farmers to produce and also to produce quality products, has helped us as a marketing company to be able to push marketable goods into the supermarkets, the wholesales, into the restaurant areas, into food service, in hotel industry.
We are targeting a total of 5,000 farmers in Jamaica by the end of the project. We are very close to 3,000 and we are profiling all those farmers. By the end of March next year, we hope to have about 3,500. And by 2018, when we leave, about 5,000.
Jamaica is one of 5 Caribbean countries where the $1.9 billion project is being implemented. The others are Barbados, Dominica, Guyana, and St. Lucia. To help them care for the crops, farmers are given training in when to spray, what chemical to use, and how to protect themselves.
The day you plant your potatoes, you'd have spent 70% of all your money. And if you don't care it well for the next 12 weeks, you could lose everything.
The training has also built the capacity of farmers who are now providing the service to other farms.
We were able to provide 9 of these guys with pumps, overalls, water boots, and they're now spraying and running their own business, providing service to the other farmers.
Training was provided by the Rural Agricultural Development Authority and Level 1 certification by the Heart Trust NTA.
I love it. I feel like a professional already. You understand? So I just wanted to take each step at a time and go forward.
Through the Propel project, farmers are introduced to new technologies that will allow them to reduce production cost, become more efficient, and produce more. This includes plastic mulch, which is a weed control method, and micro greenhouse technology applications. Manual reaping time of potato will also reduce significantly with the introduction of a harvesting machine.
From what I'm seeing, it is quite satisfactory to me because it is my intention now to make sure I get one of these machines because I'll be able to plant more potato and I would see a better income for myself.
Minister without portfolio in the Agriculture Ministry, J.C. Hutchinson, was in Manchester for the demonstration of the harvesting machine and acknowledged the work being carried out under the Propel project.
It's one where I think we are going to have to look to see if we can expand that, we get more equipment like that. This technology here is one where you see that it not only facilitates the cutting down on the growth of weeds, which also eliminates quite a lot of the labor. And by doing that, you are also putting more money in your pocket.
The area of research and development is also being strengthened under the Propel project. In May 2016, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed between World University Service of Canada WUSC and the Scientific Research Council SRC. That agreement will build the SRC's capacity to produce clean planting materials for Irish potato, ginger, sweet yam, and sweet potato. The agency will be able to supply farmers and companies with virus-free plants and to identify and analyze natural predation for biological control of pests and diseases. There is also partnership with Bodle's Research Station for clean planting materials for ginger. By bringing the different stakeholders on board, the project is creating a sustainable output of planting materials to aid farmers in their production, which should ultimately lead to a steady distribution of produce.
We target the sector. We don't target farmers in particular. We provide stimulus, we provide catalyst to the entire sector for it to move from where it is to where it would like to be. So we don't talk about Propel without talking about SRC, without talking about Bodles, without talking about the Ministry of Agriculture, without talking about RADA.
Mr. Prasad says he is pleased with the strides Jamaica has made with the project.
I'm really very satisfied. Jamaica, for our $87 million that has been contributed so far, I think Jamaica has contributed close to 40 million of that. I mean, I don't have the exact figure, but in terms of production that has reached the high value market, Jamaica has contributed close to 40 million of that. In terms of research and development, in terms of linkages, in terms of getting all people on board to say how do we solve the issues, Jamaica is way ahead of the game.
Let's celebrate Jamaica to the world. Fastest man in the world. First Jamaican woman to win gold in Olympic 100-meter sprint. An upcoming global superstar. Mouth-watering meals. And a vibrant set of people. We are Jamaicans. Let's get together and bring back the love.
The Blue and John Crow Mountains is home to many unique plants and animals, plus the location is steeped in history. That is why you should visit the area, which has been recognized by the United Nations for its cultural and historical significance.
What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful island we have.
Its culture and nature magically intertwined, one of the reasons that make this World Heritage Site special. Come with us to the Blue and John Crow Mountains. There is much to see, touch, smell, and taste up in these hills.
You can just come in for the day, sit, relax, have your barbecue, go hike on our hiking trails. You can have a tour guide if you so desire to take you on the trail. You can also bring your tent and you can camp overnight. In the Blue Mountain Peak area, you can hike to the Blue Mountain Peak, go to the ice point, come back to Portland Gap where you can rest. The attraction at the peak itself is people hike up in the night, stop at their cabins, right? And then 3 o'clock in the morning, you'll get up out your bed, hike on the trail for another 2 hours to the peak itself to see the sunrise. It is beautiful.
This is where peace is. Talk about getting away from the hustle and bustle of life. This is the place to be. Its cool nature, yes, often cold, particularly in the latter part of the year. But you'll be easily warmed by the best tasting coffee and dance the day away with captivating traditional entertainment. Yes, the Blue and John Crow Mountains has it all. You leave amazed, not believing it all exists in one place, some 4,000 feet above sea level. High up, where it feels like you can touch the clouds, where you can watch birds making their nests, playing among their flock.
How it gets its name, the blue. If you're in Kingston looking in the hills or on the hills, you would see the color blue on the mountain. The John Crow part of it is our ancestors used to hunt wild boar and take it to the other parishes to sell to the different parishes. So what is not sold off, they would leave it, they wouldn't take it back home, and then the John Crow will come down and clean up after they leave.
On the 3rd of July 2015, the Blue and John Crow Mountains was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. After many years of championing for this cause, the committee fell under the spell of the mountains and gave in. They had no choice. The national park is a true natural treasure. Don't be fooled though. This site is huge, impossible to fully discover in a day, maybe not even in a week. It spans 4 parishes: St. Andrew, Portland, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. Just over 26,000 hectares, and is the preservation zone of the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park, which itself is just over 48,000 hectares. The Blue and John Crow Mountains is one of 32 World Heritage Sites listed for both cultural and natural heritage. There are over 1,357 flowering plants, with over 25% being endemic. All Jamaica's 30 endemic birds can be found in the area. Dozens of herbal plants to cure almost every ailment.
This is called a headache bush. You can use it as a painkiller. So if you have an headache or a stomach ache, you could boil it. Like a tea, have a 2 or 3 leaves to a cup of water. You remember they used to send telegrams, right? In the early days, this is what they used to use, like the ancestors, the Maroons. They would write on this and send it. If you carve on it, it will stay with that green or dry. And the information, you could use this and send the information like a letter.
And it provides that precious commodity.
The Blue and John Crow Mountain provide 45% of Jamaican drinking water. There are 25 watersheds in the entire Jamaica, and 10 of those watersheds can be found in the Blue and John Crow Mountain National Park.
On the cultural side, the Maroons take center stage. Once a refuge for runaway slaves, it remains home for their descendants. Their way of life is an intriguing history lesson for the unknown. There you may imbibe on authentic foods and dive into the inviting Nanny Falls.
The interesting thing is that so few of us Jamaicans take advantage of the opportunity that we have up here in terms of the relaxation, the climate.
Don't allow foreigners to know this World Heritage Site more than you. Remember, when you go, take only pictures and leave only footprints. For a tour inside the Blue and John Crow Mountains, call the Jamaica Conservation and Development Trust 960-2848-9 or 920-8278.
It's spring. 'Tis the season for cleaning. Not just moving stuff around and dusting, but also getting rid of things you no longer need. Here are some reasons decluttering your environment is a great idea. Number 1, you make room for things that you actually need. Number 2, less time is spent tidying up when you have fewer things. Number 3, it provides a great opportunity to give away stuff to persons who need them. And number 4, a cleaner space is much more pleasing to the eye. Now, some of you may be a bit overwhelmed because you have so many things and you don't know where to start. Well, start small. I know most people like to do one big cleaning, but if that's too much, focus on a small area before moving on to something else. Maybe you could start with just clearing out one drawer a day. Also, to determine what to get rid of, assess each item and ask yourself, do I really need or use this? If you haven't used something in a year, maybe you can let it go. When you throw out the things that you don't really need, you can enjoy the things that you have. You will spend less time looking for and sorting stuff out and will have more time to your home and indeed Jamaica, a place where anyone would want to live, work, raise families, and do business. Today's show has come to an end, but information from JIS is always at your fingertips. Visit our website at jis.gov.jm, follow us on Twitter at JIS News, or like our Facebook page. Got feedback or comments on today's show? Send us an email at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. I'm Theodore. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.